My name's Katerina, and today we're going to get into a little bit about a decision that I had to make due to certain things that were going on in my life. So I lived in a dual household until I was about 8 years old. My mom and my dad did get divorced, and from there, I just started going from home to home. I was raised in a Christian home. Grandmother went to church every single Sunday. So every Sunday, that meant I had to go to church. I was very, very involved in church when I was young. When I was about 13, 14 years old, my mom moved me to Florida with my aunt. And when I was in Florida, I actually used to volunteer more in church. I used to go to service 2 to 3 times a week rather than one time a week. So the Bible was very present in my household through my entire life. When my mom and my dad got divorced, I did have a little brother. I used to take care of him, feed him, bathe him. I used to have a lot of little cousins, always used to take care of them. And then when I moved to Florida, my aunt, she had 3 younger children, and I used to babysit them all the time. And my other uncle that lives in Florida, he had two. So I used to babysit, and my aunt always used to tell me, you're going to be a super mom when you grow up. You're going to have all these kids, and because you're just so good with children. And I'm like, yeah, like, I always did love children. And my first job was at a daycare. I used to take care of 1-year-olds. So I love children. I love kids. If I could have a whole bunch of them, I would. So had my first son at 19 years old. Once I had my son at 19 years old, it was just me and him. When he was about 2 or 3 years old, that's when I moved to New Jersey because my dad resides here. And my dad was a little bit more open. Ever since growing up, me and my dad were always close. So he was always the person I can confide in. So I had my son. I started working, everything like that. And then about 23, 24, I met my partner, which me and my son's father, we already had separated, split. Then I became involved with someone else. Then that's when I had my daughter at 24. And then 24, still lived on my own. Then it was more of I'm not going to tell my family because here I am having another father to my children, right? It's like, oh, here we go. Something that the Bible is saying you can't do, you're not supposed to do this and you're not supposed to do that. So I will say that religion separated me and my family a lot during my pregnancies because I didn't want to be judged. I just wanted to be happy that I'm having a baby and someone that I cared about. You know what I mean? Versus, oh, you gotta repent, get on your knees, ask God for forgiveness. And then after I had my daughter, 25, 26, 24 years old, I then had my son, Kai, my youngest one, in 2020. I had my 3 children. We're summers. We're going beach, water park. We're just enjoying life. Us three, I work Monday through Friday. We have a hectic schedule. Dad is stay at home during the week. My young son does get early intervention as well, so he's home also during those therapy sessions, and as well as he picks up our child from school because I'm at work Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 7 o'clock at night. So he's taking that load during the week and also sacrificing his week, and so he's only working on the weekends to help the family. You know what I mean? Like, if this is what the family needs, this is what we have to do. And then November of 22 comes, my period is missing, and I'm pregnant. Come in the bathroom, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have another baby. Like, what's gonna happen? Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And I'm super excited. Like, I'm shocked. Like, this is not like I didn't expect this, but okay, another baby. Like, why not? I love kids. Like, I guess we gotta do it again, right? We gotta figure it out. And I tell dad, and dad's like, how are we gonna do this? I'm like, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get it done. And he's like, okay, look, listen, you already work during the week. Riley is going to school. Kai's getting his sessions during the week. How are we going to add another child? Because that will put me, because that will put me back at home now another 3 years. And I said, well, we figure it out. We always do. Me and you, we got it. He's like, no, seriously, sit down and really think about it. What are we gonna do, Katerina? So I started thinking, like, well, I do have a new job. How am I going to tell my job that I'm going to need some time off of work? I just started less than a year. I'm already going to need some time off of work. We have an 11-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a one. Well, it was 10, 10, 5, and 1 at the time. What are we gonna do? I didn't know what to do. I was stressed out. I was between, now I'm having this baby. I'll be by myself and have it if he doesn't want to. I'll be by myself. But Katerina, how can you do it by yourself? 3 children, you work full time. How is that? How 4 children? That would be 4 children on you. How are you going to do it? I actually made my first appointment. I didn't go to it. I made a first appointment. Before I made the December 9th appointment, I had another appointment and I did not go. And I lied about it. I just said, oh, they said they couldn't see me because, my partner was asking me. And I was like, oh, no. They said that they couldn't see me, but I lied. It was actually because I was not ready to go. I was not ready, and I was not going to go and do a procedure that I myself wasn't ready to do. And I still wasn't even ready. It's not a decision that's made so lightly, and it's just a decision where you have to sit there, you have to think about pros and cons. And am I gonna bring another child to suffer with me? That's not why I want a baby. I want a child that is going to be happy and we're going to be fruitful and we're going to grow together. Not, okay, I have a kid, I'm glad I have it, but now we're both struggling. That's not the way. No matter which way I sliced it, I needed to go and get that done. And I did. And I just got very depressed. I cried every day. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to get up from bed. I didn't want nobody to bother me. A few days after is when you really feel it with the cramping and stuff. And I just was like, oh my gosh, God really wants me to be in pain and suffer because of what I did, because I could barely get up. It was so painful. It's just, I'm grateful for that opportunity and I'm grateful for having that choice. And that's why I don't agree with a bunch of men telling a woman what they can and can't do with their body, because you don't know what a woman goes through. You're not a woman, and you don't know what it's like for a mom that already has children or somebody that doesn't have children and maybe is not ready for that in their life. And if that's the choice that they want to make, it's okay. Me, it was just harder for me because it's like, you have kids and you're here gonna get rid of one. Like, you have 3. You know what I mean? So it's like, how you gonna do that? But I had to, because I need to be here for them 3, and I wouldn't be able to be here for them 3 as much as I want if I'm focusing on a brand new child. So, I keep every day July 15th, because that would have been the day that the baby would have been born. I just light a candle and I say something. I talk to him or her, how are you? Hope you're doing okay. Sometimes I'll maybe self-sabotage and read the report of when I got an abortion and just start crying and bawling and stuff like that. I will never forget him or her because they were in my life at one point in time. And at the end of the day, it was my child. I just want them to know it's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay to let it out. It's okay to scream. It's okay to yell. It's okay to fight. It's okay. And every day we just have to learn how to live with that piece of pain. And we don't have to forget them. We could just live with them. They live inside of us. And just don't forget who you are. You will always be you. Don't ever down yourself because of what you've done. It's okay. There's women out here that have done and are going through the same thing as you, and you can always reach out to people, just to support you and just to be there with you. If you want to talk, if you want just someone to listen, there's so many women around that are willing to hear you and listen. And just don't be afraid to walk in your truth. As much as it may hurt, there's a reason that you were there. There's a reason why you made the decision that you did. And don't forget about that decision. It's still not going to hurt any less, but it will definitely put things in more perspective for you to understand that it's okay. And it worked out at that time in my life. You will be able to have another child and you will be able to be happy and just be you. It's not like you just went out there on the limb and said, I'm just going to do this. No, you thought about it. You sat there, you weighed out your pros and cons, and this was the best route for you. for your future. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just need to think about ourselves, not to be selfish, but sometimes in certain situations we have to think about, when this child comes, are we going to be able to be there for that child and support that child 100%? And it's hard for people that don't have family, that don't have friends. How can they do it if they don't have anyone to help them? It's not easy. It's not easy. I was about to not take anything off and just walk out. All I thought about was my choice and the reasoning behind it. Even though I wanted to back out because of who I am. I'm a mom. I love kids. So here I am like, God, do you want me to go now? Or do you want me to lay down? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I'm, my best friend since 10th grade, she's on the phone with me. Her name is Paris. So I was like, I'm going to walk out right now. Like, what do I do? She's like, I know how you, because again, she's also into Bible. Like my family, she was also raised in that as well. And she told me, it's okay. God will forgive you. God is going to forgive you. And as much as you don't want to make this decision right now and you don't want to lay down, it's going to be okay. I got your back. God got your back. And I was like, God, please, I'm sorry. And for some reason, I just felt this calmness just passed me by real quick. And I just took that and I just laid there. But I was still crying. I was crying. He was like, I'm going to do this now. And I'm listening to when the machine is going to turn on. And just hearing that, and I opened my eyes and I seen the vacuum and I just seen all of it just going there, and I had to close my eyes again. You can see just all of it just going in that tube, and for someone that is going through a split decision and is not sure which way to go, that is not something that you want to see. You know what I mean? Like, people get freaked out, but I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's it. And then to think like 1 minute, you have a baby, next minute you're not okay, you patched up, there you go, have a good day, here's some pills, and it's like, okay, this is it. This is what I did. I've done it already. Now, how am I going to heal myself? By healing, you have to go through pain. So I had to go through that pain first. I had to cry it out, scream it out, relive that pain for me in order to find the peace in my decision. That was really how I, started. Like, I'm not fully healed. I still think about it every day. I still do my own thing, July 15th, but I had to cry and I had to hurt in order to say, okay, I can talk about it without crying. I can talk about it without getting so emotional. I can talk about it with at least saying it, not just like starting to talk about it and then just break down. I can't talk about it anymore. Like, now I'm at a point where I can be open and talk about it. And that's why I decided to get on there, because I finally felt I can speak about something that I've done that I do regret, but I'm grateful for that choice that I had at that point in time. And although I made a decision that was against the Bible, I still ask God for forgiveness, and I know that He has forgiven me, and I'm okay with that. But just don't judge me for my experience and what I've been through, because you're not a woman. You're just a group of men, and you can't tell a woman how to handle their bodies, no matter what.